In one of the Elizabeth Elliot talks that I was listening to, she says, give up the right to yourself. And she talks about, it's funny because she talks about how she would go to listen to talks. And she was listening to a talk one time and she says, I bet the person talking had no idea that the skinny girl in the front row was going to be the one listening. Because when you go and talk or when you amplify your voice, you just really never know who's listening. You never know who's going to grasp what you're saying and who's really going to take it with them, go home and make changes. And I thought to myself, it's so funny that she thought that way. That what was being told to her, the skinny girl in the front row, was resonating with her. And now, many years later, I still have her talks, and I would have been the short, chubby girl in the front row who absorbs everything that she says. And I absorb everything that Elizabeth Elliot says, and I don't agree with everything that she says, but I absorb what she says. And the things that I don't agree with are usually the things that I take to the Lord. And I ask, why don't I agree? Is it because I don't want to hear it? And that's the thing with my videos. I never know who they're going to reach. But what I do know is it's better to raise your voice and talk about something and possibly reach one person than keep silent because you don't want to offend the crowds. And usually the crowds or the people that are offended are people who know exactly what you're saying is true. They just reject it because they don't want it. And I only say that because I grew up around church gathering people, the church that would go and gather in assemblies. And that when you're gathering at these places, not everyone who says, Lord, Lord, is surrendered to him. They don't live a life of surrender to him. None of us start living a life in surrender to him. That's something that comes as we walk with him. The more we learn to trust him. But we still believe what he says, and we still, want to honor him, and we want to obey his word, not to be saved, but because we have been saved, right? I do it because I've been saved. I don't do it for merit or for recognition. I do it because it is the duty of the Christian to actually follow after Christ, to give up themselves, give up your life. That is always what Elizabeth Elliot was saying. Live a life of surrender. Give up the right to yourself.